ago, I had a series, sorry for my terrible mic by the way, but a little while ago I had a series about a game called Celeste, which if you guys don't know, you're gonna by the end of this video. For the last video in this series, I decided that I would make a review-like video in order to properly tie everything off with a nice bow. However, what I did not take into account was my diminishing passion for YouTube, specifically in the realm of editing. And this video was particularly intensive in that aspect. As such, even though I believe this video is one of the best ones I've ever made, I never got around to finishing it just because I could not handle the editing of it. Now, even if it's not complete, I do have a solid 20 minutes of it done, so I would like to show that all to you guys here. It goes up to about chapter 4, so this is about half of the video. Please keep that in mind, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it, even if it's not done. If you guys want it, I will be posting, let me check if I can. If you want it, in my Discord, I'm going to be posting the original script for this video alongside it, so go ahead and check that out. I'm gonna stop rambling because I had to listen back to my voice and realize just how terrible it sounded, so let's just get into the video.
Guys! Celeste is a good game.
Thank you. Hold your applause. I love Celeste and hold the spicy hot take that it's a really good game. Why, you ask? Well, that's all because of the story behind the game. Celeste is a game about a girl who wants to climb a mountain, and the rest of the game builds itself upon that premise. Why does Madeleine want to climb the mountain? How will she overcome her lack of experience with mountaineering? Can I have some fries with that? These questions just build and build and build in a very satisfying way, and well, while the story can mean the plot of the game, I'd argue that story told through gameplay is equally important, and Celeste is no slouch in that regard. This room as well, and you can go up here. And you can play Fortnite on this computer.
What's up, guys? It's me, SenzuMike.
When paired with its narrative, the gameplay of Celeste is able to really hit its stride, with so many enemies and elements bearing narrative significance to the game. Did I say that right? And every new thing you learn ties into a greater story. Except this guy.
Because of my positive memories with the game, I decided to replay Celeste a few months ago, and today, I will be dissecting that playthrough to give a totally proper review of Celeste. As opposed to an improper review, I guess. Hello, viewers of the internet. My name is SenzuMike, and welcome to my full review. Wait, is that what I'm saying? Welcome to my review of the beautiful game that is Celeste. Roll the intro, if you feel like it. If you don't feel like it, then don't.
Maddie, Noel, Amora, Pedro, Lena, Kevin, and friends. This game features autosaving. Do not turn off your computer. Hold on 1 second. Right from the title screen, the atmosphere which Celeste tries to achieve couldn't be more obvious. The game is a quiet experience where the player will have a lot of time to think. Think about how to creatively use one's own abilities to conquer harsh obstacles. Think about all the characters and how their lives intertwine with one another. And of course, utilize that time of silence to reflect on oneself. When you start and finish Celeste, you will be an entirely different person. And for a journey of such an important stature, I named my character Bowsette. Yes, this is the name that speaks most to me. Bowsette starts off her journey on the foot of Mount Celeste, named after a real mountain in British Columbia, which I thought was a pretty cool thing. Here, she meets an old lady who tells her that, "If I driveway almost did you in, the mountain might be a bit too much for you. Wah, wah, wah. I'm going to murder you." Undeterred by the old lady's warnings, Bowsette treks onwards with complete confidence in her own ability, going to slip off of a bridge and die. Guys, look at this bird. See this bird? F you. Oh, you have to dash that way. Yes, you do, SenzuMike, and every other which way as well throughout the runtime of Celeste. And this dash is what makes the game so fun. Now I'm going to go into a 5-hour-long tangent about what makes this omnidirectional confection just so delicious. Actually, judging by the fact that you're watching a video on Celeste, you probably already know of the importance of the dash, or are just very late to playing the game. Which is fine too, but I mean, whatever the case, the dash move of Celeste is its defining attribute, but That isn't all that Bowsette Celeste has in her moveset. The two understated moves I feel elevate the movement of Celeste are the wall jump and the wall climb. Even in the Peak Away original, you can see how just important the wall jump is in so many ways, and the wall climb in the main game of Celeste is even more important, adding additional depth to Celeste in far more ways than one. Hell, it even makes me want to try mountain climbing in real life.
Oh, I'm gonna break that if I try that. How do I even climb this? You know what? There are better things I could be doing. So let's just move on to chapter 1, shall we?
Chapter 1 is where Celeste really starts to take off. No and there's just so much to talk about.
Like this!
Ah yes, the strawberries. The core collectibles of Celeste, which surely offer the most utility to the gameplay of Celeste, being the material that's used to unlock the most extra content. Now, yeah, strawberries are a fantastic collectible in Celeste, because they're a reward for doing a challenge, but the type of challenge that is can be literally anything the game wants you to do. Maybe it's a platforming challenge, or maybe the real challenge is finding a hidden room, but whatever the case, you get a sense of accomplishment whenever you get a strawberry because of your perceived value of it. You did a thing that the developers thought was worthy of a strawberry. Wow, how amazing! But the best part of the strawberries is that they're optional. So long as you can beat the levels of Celeste, you will never be arbitrarily blocked off of content, nor will you have to resort to hours of pointless grinding just to actually continue on with the story of the game. Right? Anyways, enough about strawberries. Let's move on to the level itself. Chapter 1, also known as the Forsaken City, is not the best level in Celeste, but damn dude is it fun, and damn were their conveyor belts the perfect choices. What am I saying? Conveyor belts are good, everyone. Yeah? Look at this clip.
Oh, I see. Easy. The attempt that you succeed at is the one that you don't. Wait, what?
Ah yes, an easy segue into talking about a core mechanic of Celeste. Momentum is the key word that I want to touch on here, because everything carries momentum in Celeste. Yeah, that's right, Sonic Frontiers, even Mario has momentum now. These conveyors in the Forsaken City are a brilliant way to show the player the importance of keeping their momentum. Like, it's not as important as any of Bowsette's other core moves, but there are a lot of places where momentum plays a key role in how you approach puzzles in Celeste, oh yeah donkey, which is why introducing momentum to the player so early is a good thing. Learning about momentum at this time also allows you to experiment with it a lot earlier in the game, allowing you to discover stuff like the Wave Dash, a move where when you dash into the ground and jump off of it, you can launch yourself into the distance at like Mach 12, dude, it's insane.
See that shit, Theo? Yeah, you wish you could do that.
Woo! And there's more, trust me there's more, but in interest of having a little bit more to say than Ooga Booga, level good, in later sections of this video, let's move on to the story within this level, yeah? I had to look down on my script. That's why this is useful. That's why it's in the lab, folks.
After learning the basics of why Bowsette Celeste wants to climb Mount Celeste bars, we start to learn even more about her through the character of Theo, who is like the chillest man alive, somehow. It's a Fortnite map. I'm Theo, by the way, and I'm an adventurer from a far-off land. They like to call it America. Ooh, the horror. Theo is an absolutely brilliant character in the story of Celeste, acting as a character that Bowsette can easily bounce her thoughts off of. Whether she's positive or negative, Theo always seems to believe in her in some way or another. He's sort of like the angel on Bowsette's shoulder. But with every angel on the shoulder, there's also typically a devil. A voice that represents your darkest desires. Whether that be the want to make the wrong decision, or the belief that you'll be unable to make the right one. And and in this story, the devil is none other than it's Bowser! After a bird falls on her head, Bowsette drifts off into a peaceful sleep, and when she awakens, the world around her looks different from what she saw before, and the spirit of Celeste Mountain rears its ugly head for the first time. Going a bit deeper into the old site, or the name of the second chapter of Celeste, Bowsette finds a mirror, and what she sees in it is the personification of her worst attributes, her doubt, fear, and self-preservation.
It's Bowser!
Like Theo, Bowser is yet another amazing character. Bowser in the story is also known as part of you, and as I said earlier, is a personification of what Bowsette considers to be her worst attributes. But there's more to her than that. Right from the beginning, even before Bowser says a single word, Bowsette instantly goes on the offensive and attacks Bowser.
Why am I committing to this bit? Like, Bowser doesn't flow well in these sentences, so I mean, I can't really just call her part of you. That doesn't really flow well either, so,
Bowsette doesn't accept the purple guy as a part of her, and because of that, purple guy only gets more and more defensive about herself, eventually culminating in the purple guy going so far as to attack Bowsette so that she can put her soul in a fursuit. You're trying to murder me? Alright, well guess what? The only one who murders me is me. That was odd. Wait, whoops. After escaping the purple guy, Bowsette continues to move forward, eventually running into a ringing phone at a phone booth. Picking up the phone, she encounters her ex, an extremely minor character in the story, but one that undoubtedly played a massive part in Bowsette's life before the events we saw of the game. Then Bowsette gets Vord's and realizes that the Vord was just a part of her dream, and I think I'm done with dissecting the story now.
As I said before, each piece of new gameplay coincides with a new piece of story, or vice versa within Celeste, and guess what? Chapter 2 is no different, buckaroos.
This chapter introduces the things, and I'll be honest, they're one of my favorite objects in the game. Oh shit. They're fast, rely on the pre-existing attributes of Bowsette's moveset in order to make themselves fun. That was a run-on sentence. In this case, the dash's cooldown is used a lot more creatively. And best of all, these blocks are just fun. They're even better than the conveyor belts, which, while fun, feel more like a mechanic that could be put into any video game instead of being something that actively enhances Bowsette's moveset in and of itself. In other words, while the conveyor belts are fun, they don't blend in naturally with Celeste, like the I'm guessing things do. For this reason, I'll put the conveyor blocks in a solid B tier, and the dream blocks in S tier, because yeah, they're that fun. Also, I'm making a tier list now, whatever. There's also another thing I found in Chapter 2 that I didn't tell you about, as when I use the, like, there's a little screen thing where when you move up from screen to screen, you get your dash back. Anyways, I was able to go up and away with that, and find none other than the paper hearts from Super Paper Mario! Hell yeah! I went Super Saiyan! These are called the Crystal Hearts, and they are undoubtedly the most important collectible in all of Celeste. Play the game normally, and you'll probably find none of these unless you play the B-sides, and then, when you get to Chapter 8, you'll be treated to this. Which would probably make someone quit the game right then and there. Certainly would if there was one more gate later in the game, even if you were able to get past this one miraculously. In my own playthrough, I saw through it to collect all the crystal hearts that I could. As I mentioned already, I got one through abusing the screen dash recovery mechanic in Chapter 2, and afterwards, going back to Chapter 1, I found this one place with birds. Initially, I moved past it. After all, I already found a strawberry here, and I thought the monitor was just an Easter egg to one of the developer's past games. But no, this was actually a code for which direction you should dash in. Ignoring the lack of indication that you should dash here, this actually sets up the crystal hearts to be really fun collectible, puzzles which require you to really rack your brain in order to find unique mechanics to exploit in order to... No. Okay, so to get Chapter 3's Crystal Heart, all you have to do is jump in this one random hole in the ceiling. What? Every single other goddamn hole in the ceiling has absolutely nothing in it. Even the one that looks the most conspicuous or the one that's in the exact same goddamn room as this one. Why does this one get such special treatment? I think I'm done here. Now...
Congratulations, SenzuMike! With that trophy of just became the 1 millionth person who can show them how uninstalling your game on Steam.
Oh boy! What do I win? What do I win?
Prize for your immaculate creative chops, we at the Academy of Stupid decided to award you with a prize.
Oh, I forgot. I was supposed to ask what did I win already. Well, what do I win?
Yeah, the crystal hearts are really hit or miss. Some are clever like the ones in Chapter 1 and 2, some are f***ing stupid like the ones from Chapter 3 and 6, the latter of which, mind you, requires you to have knowledge of Chapter 1's crystal heart, which, let's be honest, if you're not using a walkthrough, you're not gonna know! And the rest are from the B-sides, which are harder than the regular game and are also hit or miss on whether the level you're playing is exactly fun. Which is a trait that kind of carries over to the main game, mind you, but thanks to the ever-looming goal that is the next story cutscene, as well as the lesser difficulty compared to the B-sides, it was never too big a deal in the main game.
Now, if you already know of the Pure Heart's existence, which I did prior to the core, this actually creates quite the interesting dynamic where you have to go ahead and you have to collect some Crystal Hearts, but you don't have to get all of them. Because if you don't like the B-sides, or if you don't like a specific Crystal Heart, or if you just can't wrap your head around a certain puzzle, you aren't forced to do every one, but at the same time, you are forced to do some of them. Which, you know, is what we like to call pretty good game design. Best of all, the roadblock in the core is placed at the beginning of the level instead of in the middle of it, so that you don't get invested into the level and then get blocked off from continuing it arbitrarily. I don't know why I mentioned that. It'd be pretty stupid if it wasn't this way. I hope that by bringing this up that you can see that I'm not just trying to blindly praise Celeste throughout my review, and I am trying to actually point out the rough edges like I said I would in the intro. The Crystal Hearts are just one of the many few things in this game. I forgot to go to the Crystal Hearts are just one of the many few things in this game that I believe needed to be polished up a little bit more before they were put out to the public. I'm on like a full 45-degree angle with my head. Anyways, now on to blindly praising the game because holy hell, Chapter 3 was amazing! Chapter 3 has got to be one of my favorite chapters in all of Celeste. First and foremost, this chapter is a fairly self-contained plot. And it tells Bowser going into the Celestial Resort, an abandoned hotel with a ghost owner who doesn't realize just how decrepit the hotel is and is desperate to sell Bowsette and Theo a room in it. This conflict climaxes with the purple guy coming out of Bowsette, telling the owner, Mr. Oshiro, that his life has zero purpose. When I did a Let's Play on this chapter, I also played Fortnite.
Don't let go with that. No!
Don't ask me why, I just felt like it. Anyways, Mr. Oshiro gets pissed off from the smack talk and goes nuts, activating the big head cheat code and deciding to murder Bowsette.
I just wanted to help. You're gonna get... Mr. Oshiro is about to get charged with murder. Oh, and, can't get charged with murder when you're dead. And neither of us are dead.
But of course, he fails, and Mr. Oshiro realizes that he needs to close the Celestial Resort, ending the chapter. From the basic plot overview I just gave, you're probably thinking that the plot sounds pretty basic, and that's true. I will agree with you on that. But that's not the reason I like the plot so much. It's not the core plot itself, but it's how those plot beats are met. The little dialogue interactions between Bowsette and Mr. Oshiro, Bowsette and Theo, Bowsette and the purple guy, I think I just like Bowsette. All the dialogue interactions within this chapter are on point, and I don't know what it is, but I just really like Mr. Oshiro as a character. He just feels like an insecure nerd who really likes his hotel, and for that reason I gotta put Mr. Oshiro in the A tier. Also, yes, I have another tier list. They're a good format for putting your thoughts in, okay? This isn't all I like about Chapter 3, though, as this is where I also believe the gameplay of Celeste hits its peak. While the stage gimmick isn't quite on par with the things, Mr. Oshiro's red spunk is still quite the cool gimmick. By the way, yes, it does come out of him. It's just a mechanic that forces the player to utilize their abilities in creative ways in order to get past obstacles, and it can be used to enhance platforming sections to an exceptional degree. A tier. Yeah, this video is gonna take a while. I don't even have any more like major critiques to say since I've gone over most of the major aspects of this game. It's just the levels now.
Be so awesome.
Well, you know what that means. I guess it's time to sell my baby pictures, baby. It's speedrun time. Dream, yeah? Woo! I don't like Chapter 4 all that much, even though visually this level is probably one of my favorites in the entire game. Okay, let's stop the speedrun music for a second because I forgot to talk about the graphics, but that's because I don't really think I need to. Celeste has some superb pixel art, not just on this level where the orange and yellow sunset, they complement the purple mountain rocks and brown backdrops perfectly, mate, but on every single other level in the game as well. Are you beach ready? Well, you bet your ass this game is, because goddamn is it sexy. The character portraits in this game are also quite charming. I can't honestly say they're on the same level of quality as the pixel art, as in all honesty I think a lot of these portraits look pretty awkward, but I can tell it's more of a stylistic choice than anything else, as the main artist seems to be a really good artist. So I don't think the character portraits being this way are a fluke or due to lack of experience, more so it's a style. I honestly feel like I'm underselling the art of Celeste by only relegating a small portion of my review to it, and the sort of shafting of the character portraits, they're really good. They just look a little bit awkward at some points, but Celeste overall is just one of the most beautiful games I've ever played. And that segues beautifully into the story of the game, so it's time to speedrun again, boy! Granny returns to Chapter 4, the Golden Bridge, marking the game finally getting back on track with its core plot. Granny and Bowsette do some soul switching, commence level, and steal again, boy! Well, wait. We must do the level first.
Within the Golden Ridge, you got bouncy clouds, B tier, bouncy disappearing clouds, also B tier bubbles, A tier, because why I like these, the way they're utilized rubs me the wrong way. And then there's the moving platforms and wind. I hate these things. Moving platform sections, I'll be honest, are pretty cool. It's just that I don't personally like them that much, and whenever they're used, my brain just doesn't naturally interpret what to do with them. C tier, but if it was used better, can we get much higher? The wind, on the other hand, sucks. You want to have a somewhat fast-paced and cool experience? Well, enjoy the wind blowing back on you, meaning that jumping 2 fucking feet is an accomplishment. F tier. Know the times when the wind blows you forward does not make it better. When playing a game like Celeste, which demands accuracy at all times, changing the way your character moves completely is not appreciated.